Ohayo minasan, welcome back to the channel and welcome those who are new. My name is Kai and today we're going to be continuing Blue Rose. We're going to be playing day 2 and if there's enough time we'll be doing day 3 as well. I think we're going to be doing 2 days at a time depending on how long each chapter is. So for those who haven't seen the first gameplay of this, we were playing as a girl named Lena, and she is like a knight or someone who protects a princess or the ambassador that was there. We got knocked out. A guy named Tobias saved us in the woods, in the mountains, and he ended up taking us to his cabin. We just woke up there. And we've been out for 3 days, and we're trying to get back to our co-guy Simon, who is a knight, and back to the princess, who is Lady something. So now let's continue. The rest of the day passed. The next time I reluctantly accepted the tea from Tobias, and although it wasn't the best I had tasted, there wasn't anything particularly wrong about it. After spending some more time in the room feeling anxious and not knowing what was going on outside, I made a decision to get up the next morning. I pushed myself out of bed and grimaced in pain as I tried to stand on my right leg. Moving slowly and with one hand leaning on the wall, I managed to take my way to the door. Sorry, I still have my cold. Sorry. I managed to make my way to the door. Man, this is pathetic. Being weak like this really doesn't suit me, and I refuse to just lie still and wait. Then I noticed something. Next to the door, a makeshift crutch made of a thick branch is leant against the wall. Looks like it was made for me. I pick it up and continue. On the other side of the door is what looks like a small and simple kitchen, but by the table is the middle of the room, and the 2 chairs, and one of them sits Tobias. You're up? Yes. You shouldn't be walking around. You're still hurt. I don't intend to lie there forever. Fine. Take a seat. I was about to bring breakfast anyway. I sit in a chair opposite of him and watch as he brings some bread and cheese to the table. He also puts a kettle over and pours me another cup of tea, of that strange tea. I send another suspicious look as he places the cup before me. What are you doing up here all alone? I'm a hunter. That doesn't explain much. That's how it is. What an unfriendly character, but I honestly do want to know if he found any clues of what became of the others. If he is a hunter, then maybe he sees these things when wandering around about the mountains. So, you were hunting when you found me? Yes, obviously. Have you? I hesitated. I'm still not sure how much I can trust this guy. You don't have to be suspicious of me. I don't care if you came from one or other side, or if you're a nun or warrior. As long as you concentrate on getting better soon as you can, go on your way. Then we can all be happy. I kinda like this guy. I don't know. He's has a badass vibe, but deep down, he's just a teddy bear. With the outburst, Tobias rises from his chair and clears his plate off the table. He then grabs a bag near the door and turns his back to me. I have to go. Remember to drink your tea. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. The other the door closes. I am alone. For a second, I just sit and stare at the door. What was that? What an idiot! As if I needed help from the kind of person, he just walks away. Without giving me a chance to respond. Takes my weapon away and treats me like this. My head starts hurting again. Probably because I let myself get riled up like this. I decide to return to my room. We have been traveling for 3 days on foot already. We brought only 2 horses with us into the mountains. One is carrying some of our supplies, while the other is used to transport our client whenever possible. Okay, so that's her name. This is the Princess Adele. Plus, she was also called the ambassador. So yeah, it really is quiet. Don't worry, my lady. We have advanced with a satisfactory speed so far. We will be home soon. Yes, you're right. I stopped for a moment to take a closer look at our surroundings. Despite what I said to her, I can't help but feel terribly restless myself. Simon walks up to me. So this is Simon. He is the knight, and I want to see if I can get his ending. If I can't, oh well, I want to get him or Tobias so far. What is it, Lena? We are not supposed to stop for rest yet. Yes, I know. You don't seem to too enthusiastic about this mission. No, sir, it's just... I shoot a glance at the woman riding the horse in front of us. If I may be honest, I don't believe this... Sorry, I was just making sure my mic was on. I don't believe this will change anything. I want to stay where I can make a difference. Simon sighs. This may very well make a huge difference for us, Lena. If we get her people on our side, we will gain a major advantage, especially if we make sure that Helen doesn't hear about it too soon. Somehow I just find it too hard to believe that she will be able to convince anyone. Have some faith, Lena. There are some things that can't be solved with power alone. She may not look like it, but she's a very influential ambassador. Her family has some very influential ties. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying something like this. It's alright, I know you, Lena. If there is nothing I will never doubt, then it's your loyalty. Just remember that not everyone knows you that well. With that, he leaves me and rejoins the others. I just watch from behind as he takes the lead. Will this really change anything? Now I'm very curious why people wouldn't trust her. Right, day 3. The next day, I walk out of the kitchen once again, but Tobias has already left. I wonder what he does all day. Not that it bothers me. Staying alone inside the silent house does bother me though. I decide to open the front door and step outside for once. I lean against the crutch that Tobias made for me and observes the area. The sun is shining and I'm shining again today, and a pleasant breeze brushed through the leaves and grass. This is truly the middle of nowhere. How far is this from the path where I fell? I will take forever to get back to civilization, especially while I'm still in this shape. I'm stuck. With a sigh, I decide to shove these negative thoughts aside. Instead of brooding about it here, I should try and find out more about where I am. No use in wasting time like this. Tobias probably won't be back until tonight anyway. That's how it usually is. I start walking. Not too far from the cottage, I ascend a small hill as I head further in between the trees. Soon, the scenery opens up before me, and I come upon a mountain lake in the forest. That is really pretty. That is really, really pretty. The short trip has already taken its toll on me. I lean up against a tree near the lake, silently cursing over how weak I still am. I need to get better soon. I have to find out what happened to the others. In any case, I will have to go back and report what happened. Someone other than me has got to have survived. As well, I bite my lip. Suddenly, something catches my attention, almost like a shadow. There was movement somewhere in the bushes in front of me. I scan the area. Now, no sounds tell me that there would have been anything. Was it just me? Again, in the corner of my eye, I catch a hint of something moving. I quickly turn in my head, but I don't see anything. My heart starts beating faster and my body is intense. As I prepare myself for whatever it is, it's probably just some animal living in the forest, but have the encounter with a dragon, I feel like I should still keep my guard up. There, I hear a faint rustle in the bushes to my right. Somewhere in between the trees. Slowly, I grab my crutch and advance towards the sound. Still can't see anything, but it still draws me in. I pass between the trees and leaves the lake behind. Further ahead, I see another hint of movement darting between the bushes and follow it upwards. Is it teasing me? No, must be my imagination. Before long, the trees thin out once again, and I soon find myself at the top of the small slope overlooking Smallland Valley, nestled between the mountains. But the valley isn't empty as expected. I am looking down at the small village in the distance. A village? There shouldn't be any settlement up here. It was very small, but it is definitely there. From here I can see people move between the houses. It seems lively. For a moment the sudden appearance of a small village fills me with doubt. Have I come even further than I thought? Am I even still in Tanvis? Hesitating for a moment, I finally decide to descend the slope down towards the village. I wander slowly through the village while watching my surroundings in disbelief. Is this place, is this place, I think that was, shouldn't have existed. Some of the villagers are sending me curious and inquiry glances, all of them obviously aware that I am not from around here. This is a small sprouting village. I instantly notice how almost everything here looks new. Are these people pioneers? A shadow in the crowd draws my attention, a figure who looks detached from the world around him, with a strangely distant look on his face. He just slowly passes through, unnoticed by the villagers, and they of no importance to him. The man lifts his head and eyes me across the distance, a smile surface on his face, before he turns away and leaves the main street, disappearing out of sight. Who is he? What was that? I take a careful glance around, wondering if there's something funny about me that would make him do that. Oh well. It's you! I jump a little, and the clear voice calling out from behind me. As I turn around, I see a girl standing a few meters away, looking directly at me. Then she approaches me. Some of the nearby villagers look obviously surprised by the fact that this girl appears to know me. Hello, I'm so happy to see that you are up and well. I was really worried then, when Tobias brought you in. I almost thought you wouldn't make it. You? Who are you? Oh, I'm sorry, my name is Aaron. I helped Tobias take care of you when he first found you. I remember now, Tobias saying that it was a woman who changed my clothes. In spite of him later telling me that he lived here alone, must have been this girl. Thank you, Aaron. Sorry, Tobias didn't tell Sorry. Tobias didn't tell me about you, so I'm a little surprised. It's so funny, it's funny referring to this girl as Aaron. It just says, no offense to anyone that's named Aaron out there, because that's technically my name too. So it's kind of weird. So, let's continue. What? He didn't? That's typical of him. But, oh well. You're fine now. That's all that counts. Where is he now? I don't know. He left the cottage before me. I shoot another glance at my surroundings. I didn't know there were supposed to be town in these mountains. Oh, I see. Of course he wouldn't have mentioned it. Suddenly Erin nervously averts her eyes, as if just remembering something. Tobias said he was the only one living here. And is he a part of this village as well? Tobias protects this place. He most likely never intended to let you know it existed. What is your name? Oh, right. I am Lena. Welcome, Lena. Aaron lights up just a little and smiles at me. I hope you will get better soon. If you ever feel like it, then drop by my place and we will make you something to eat. I nod and return a courteous smile. Thank you, Aaron. You shouldn't be careful, though. Even though this is mostly a peaceful place, there are all kinds of hostile creatures living in these parts. Usually they stay away from the village, but people like Tobias patrol the premises to make sure that no one runs into hostile monsters. I'll be fine. Oh, my sister must be getting impatient by now. I'm off. See you later, Lena. Aaron waves her and hurries off. I am once again on my way. I'm on my own in a strange little village, wondering what to do next. What is this place? It seems so new. A hidden village in the mountains? Wondering about this makes my way. I make my way down the road, watching the life pass around me. Almost everyone shoots curious glances my way. It's obvious that everyone knows I'm new face. Close to the edge of the village, between two houses, is a couple of children are playing. One of them is chasing a hen around. Marley, you're chasing it away. Mom will be mad at us. Shut up, I'll get it. Don't be such a spoil sport. Oh, look out! The hen dashes past the boy and he yells at his sister and heads towards the tree line. Get back! What was that? Just as I am about to move on, feel an unsettling presence, I turn back towards the children. There's something moving in the bushes near the fleeing hen. Wait! I go after them with a pace that feels charmingly slow to me. The boy has cornered the hen by the tree a couple of meters ahead. Ha! See, I told you I'd catch it. He proudly moves forward to get a hold of the panicky hen. And there it is. The bushes behind the boy rustles and something comes lunging out. Ha! Marley! My crude crunch is swung in an arc, throwing in air, pounding into the attacking shadow. Whatever it is sent flying, the boy looks back at the spectacle, his mouth open in surprise at what is happening. My crutch used as a mock-up sword, I suddenly lose my balance as I instantly step down on my bad leg after the attack. Pain shoots up through my leg, and I bite my teeth together as I stumble backwards. But instead of falling to the ground, my back bumps into something. I feel my arms being caught from behind, as something keeps me up from falling over. Take it easy there, you don't look like you're in a state fit for jumping around like that. Huh? I open my eyes and realize that I've fallen backwards into the arms of a stranger. That was some swing. You alright? The teasing tone of his voice makes me frown in annoyance. Would you be so kind as to let me go? The man grins at my compliment. At my complaint. So cold. You sure you can stand? He helps me up as I find my balance with the crutch. I turn around and get to see him more clearly. Still, what was impressive, even if it was only a small one, it wasn't fast enough to do anything about it myself. I didn't get to take a proper look at the thing before it was sent flying, but it was some sort of creature, probably one of those monsters that Aaron was talking about. It was most likely that it had been aiming at the hen, and not the boy. Had there really been the hostile presence that I felt? Could I have been wrong? That's when I noticed that the man is still standing there, watching me. You're not from around here, are you? Well, I'm pretty new here myself, but I'm sure I would have noticed someone like you. No, you could say I just arrived today. I see, my name is Gavin. And you're? Lena. Lena, nice to meet you. It's not every day that you get to see a new face in this town. Excuse me for saying it, but I can't help but get the impression that you have had a rough start in these parts. He makes a small nod towards the bandages. It hasn't been an easy trip. Yes, well, I haven't had any my difficulties on my way. Sorry, be back in a second, you guys. Okay, let me just get a drink of water and we'll continue, sorry. Alright. Yes, well, I haven't had my difficulties on my way here. He laughed slightly, lightheartedly. Wow, that was amazing. I looked down and noticed the two kids from before. The boy is holding the hen in his arms. Where did you learn to do that, miss? Oh, that's you! The second time today someone calls out to me in that manner. Now I turn my head and see some familiar appearing between the trees far away. Tobias! What are you doing here? His face is mixed surprise and then anger. This is the first time I see him riled up like this as he steadily approaches us. You were supposed to stay at the cottage. You can't tell me what to do. I'll leave if I want to. You two know each other? Gavin looks both surprised and amused by this. Tobias shoots him an angry glare. And you stay out of this. It's none of your business. None of his business? And what is this place? None of my business? What? You told me you lived here alone. That you alone had found me and brought me back. Then what is this town? You're right. That is none of your business. All you have to do is get better and go back to where you came from. Your kind has nothing to do here. My kind? Hey, aren't we getting a little overboard here? Tobias, why don't you give the nice lady a rest? You shouldn't be yelling at a woman when she is hurt. After shooting Gavin yet another icy stare, Tobias finally backs down. Fine, do whatever you want. And then he turns around and leaves on the spot. Oh my, he was certainly in a good mood. I just stand there looking at the direction where Tobias disappeared without answering. Well, I guess it's about time we got back to town. What do you say? Gavin nudges the kids who had been watching our quarrel with wide eyes. Yeah, alright then. He turns to look at me. What about you? What are you standing around there for? Shortly after, I find myself in the small inn. Something looks like it's still under construction, but it is already in use. Gavin has us placed at a table near the wall, when I see another familiar face approach us. Oh, there you are again. Just sit tight, I'll give you something good. You work here? My sister and I run this place, so just relax, this is all me. Erin disappears out of sight once again. Before long, she returns with 2 plates of dinner for us. Enjoy! Thank you, Erin. That's very nice of you. Don't mention it. Oh, by the way, do you remember to drink your tea? Tea? Yes, I believe I gave Tobias some tea for you. Oh, it's from you? My sister made it. She's really good with herbs and healing. If you drink it, you'll get better much faster. Thank you. I'll remember that. Erin just smiles and then returns to her duties. So the tea had come from her, too. You know her, too? Oh, not really. It seems she was one of the people who helped me when I got hurt. I see. You stayed pretty far in these mountains when you got hurt. What were you doing all the way up here? Looks like I shouldn't be asking that just yet. Oh well, everyone has their own reasons for being here. Reasons? Yes, is it obvious the village full of secrets? He says this with a teasing smirk, as if making fun of me. But he has a point. A hidden village all the way up in the mountains? I can't imagine why anyone would settle down in such a secluded place without a good reason. I'm still not sure what kind of places I have ended up in. So, what is the reason for being here? Mine? That's a good question. One I'm afraid I also can't quite answer yet. I watch him carefully. There's something about this guy that tells me to stay on my guard, but I'm not really sure what it is. At the end of the day, I return to the cottage. Tobias is inside. He is cleaning one of his hunting knives and doing his best to ignore my entrance. I'm not going to let him off that easily, though. Why? He finally looks up. Why what? Why didn't you tell me about the village? Because I did not intend to let someone like you know about it. Did you really believe you could bring me here and I wouldn't notice? If you are so against someone of my kind coming here, then you should have let me lie where you found me. Trust me, I'm beginning to believe I should have. This man definitely pisses me off. Ever since I got here, he has acted this way towards me. I am seriously beginning to doubt why he even bothered saving me in the first place. Then give me my sword and I'll leave. Leave? He jumps from his chair. Walk out in the condition and you'll die. If you're just complaining about your things again, I already put them in your room for you. Good. With that, I immediately turn around and head for the bedroom, not sparing him another glance. Just as he said, I find my things on the chair in my room. My sword is lying on top of my damaged uniform. Pick it up and just watch in silence. It is strange, but it almost as if the sword contains an important part of me. Only when it is here do I feel secure. What a sentimental way of putting it. I put my sword on the sword side with a sigh and take a look at my uniform. It is in bad shape after my fall from the cliff, but most of the bloodstains have been removed. Apparently Tobias or Aaron washed and fixed them for me. Most likely Aaron. I can't imagine Tobias doing that much for me. Looking through my things, I realized that my dagger is missing, probably lost in the fall. The polished surface of a shield-shaped emblem catches the light and reflects the symbol of the rose engraved on its front, the proof that I am a Templar. The other side of the emblem is blank and smooth. I watched the untouched surface in a deep thought. This is where the symbol of my family was supposed to be. Of the crest of every other Templar have been engraved in the emblems for identification. I remember seeing Simon's emblem once, thinking how beautiful his family crescent had been. A blank page. Looking at my emblem always reminds me of this. My little trip has worn me out more than intentionally thought. My head is hurting again and I'm feeling awfully tired. I don't feel like going out and talking to Tobias again, so I put my emblem back in its place and decide to lie down on the bed and rest for the evening. Tell me about the rose. Darkness is falling, and we have made camp for the day. Adele is sitting in front of the fire with a cup of tea, posing as questions as I approach her. The rose? Yes, we don't know all that much about it in Kere. I'm going to call it Kere. Apart from how the Templars of the Blue Rose are supposed to be exceptional warriors with special abilities. But what they really are, I'd like to know. I watched the flames for a while, considering how to best explain it. The rose is what we Templar draw our power from. It is a source of energy that we can connect ourselves with, and thereby do things we would otherwise not be capable of. It is a gift. Energy? You mean like magic? Adele watches me curiously. I have heard that the country of Kere has a very strict view on magic and the occult, even more so Tinviz. Only their priestesses are allowed to a kind of magic, but it is very weak. Through small verses of prayers, they draw magic from objects called symbols and use them for different purposes. In the end, the views of these overworldly things aren't so different in these two countries, just the degrees of what acceptable and not. No, not exactly. I'll tell you the story about the rose if you are interested. Go on, I need to pass the time anyway. Take another small pause to recall the old story before I begin. The way I heard it was the first time. I remember it clearly. It was years ago, when I was still a girl running down the hall. Coming upon the tall statue, it was a beautiful shaped woman of stone, holding a rose in both hands, eyes closed. She looked both serene and beautiful, as she stood in that hall, as if time didn't move around her. Who is that? My old caretaker had smiled at my question. Cedric, that is Lady Invone. She is the reason the Templars of the Blue Rose even exist. The Templars? How so? Well, a very long time ago, there was a great war in Tenvis. Lady Invone had lived peacefully in her lord's castle, far away from the front. But soon as the war moved closer and closer to her home, as Tenvis was losing the fight. And one day, the castle itself was under siege, overrun by enemy soldiers. The enemies was ruthless, destroying everything as they went. They even burned down the lady's beautiful rose garden. As all seemed to be lost, and many others, including the Lord himself, had evacuated the castle, Ivone still stayed behind along with a few loyal knights guarding her. She called those knights to her and prayed for them while holding the very last blue rose from the garden in her hand. As she prayed on the beautiful flower, the knights felt a renewed energy granted to them, and they returned to the battlefield while Ivone still sat and prayed. Suddenly the tides turned, and these knights fought a brave battle with power never seen before. The enemy was defeated, and last survivors fled. Those knights are said to be the ones that later formed the Templars of the Blue Rose, and they still borrow the power of the rose whenever they go to battle. Why did she stay behind? I don't know. Maybe she had strong faith that from the beginning that she would be able to make it. Looking up the beautiful statue, I think she already became something like an idol to me at that moment. Lady Ivone and her flower. That's it? In short, yes. That doesn't really explain anything at all. She furrows her brows in discontent, continues to stare into the bonfire. In short, Lady Ivone's prayers still exist, protecting the knights, fighting for her home. Those who train and pledge their loyalty to her will be able to form the connection with the rose and make use of its powers. Then you can do that too, I take it. Of course, milady, otherwise I wouldn't be a Templar. I guess that's true. I guess? For a moment I feel tempted to snap back at her, but instead continue my explanation and attempt to change the topic away from me. What the? Checking his sec, thinks just cat. Well, I'm in practice. We, Templar makes use of this connection to draw strength from the energies and nature around us. It's the gist of it. What about someone like me? Could a normal person like me learn to do all that? That's a hard question to answer, milady. It takes much determination, training, and discipline to be able to form the connection. And when you finally make the attempt then, according to the teachings, you will still only be able to do so if the Lady Ivone accepts you. Is that so? So anyone can do it. Is she even listening to me? It would be fun to try it. Yes, it would, wouldn't it? As if I'd ever get the chance. I don't trust her. I just don't. I have this feeling like I don't trust her. She laughs and makes a bitter smile. I get the impression she's talking more to herself than me now, and deduct from this that the conversation is over. Leaving her alone, I lean my head back, staring up at this dark sky. Night falls, and countless stars are glittering above us and the mountain. There's still a long way to go before we reach our goal. Alright, guys. So, that's the end of this episode. And I'll be seeing you guys again. Remember to keep stealing the hearts of your Otome guys. and we'll continue to conquer these hearts. Wonder which heart we'll actually conquer in the end. But as always, Jeanne.